Well, everybody, welcome to another episode of Flat Rate World, and I'm so excited today, Ken. I don't know if you can notice, we've got a little bit of a change in our overlay this morning. We've actually got this top 100 logo.
I see that, and I am mad at you because I wasn't on the list. I want everybody to know. I want to make that really clear.
Well, unfortunately, there's actually only 100 people on the list. We could have put a lot more on. It was actually looked at thousands, and I can't wait to talk about that in a few minutes. And notice I've got my Tigerpaw shirt on today. Super thrilled with what they've done for this activity, and I can't wait to talk more about it. So for everyone that's tuned in, if you're a member of the Top 100, make sure you leave some comments. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, you can just leave a comment in the comment section. I think in Facebook, it's typically anonymous, so you'll have to give us your name in the comment. But other than that, we want to hear from you. So make sure you do leave your comments and questions, and we'd love to, put them up. Or if there's somebody that you know that's on the top 100 list, if you've already seen it, right? So we're going to be talking very little about flat rate today, but it's all related because everyone that made this list obviously are huge innovators and driving the future of managed print. This has been a strange time to be in the industry, and it's so exciting to recognize so many people that are, doing so much to make, a difference in the industry, right? So leave your comments and questions. We'd love to hear them as we go through, and we do have a couple of surprise guests, which we'll introduce a little later as well. One thing that we love to do, Ken, this is your time to shine.
Let us know where you're watching from. We're always excited to see because it is a global movement, and we have people that participated in our challenge from around the world. You see all of the places. We're working with people in Australia and in Europe right now. We look forward to continuing to expand our organization and the impact that it'll have globally. So we're always excited to see where people watch from. If you watch on the replay, let us know too. And by the way, if you're watching on the replay and you have a question, if you put a question there, we'll come back and get you an answer.
Yeah, we'll see it. You don't have to just comment or ask questions during the live stream. That's one thing I love about live streaming is that we'll get those questions, we'll get those comments, and we'll make sure to get back to you. Yeah, so exciting, and we are just getting ready to sign up a new customer in the UK, and really thrilled to see the global influence, right? But it kind of makes sense. I mean, you look at me, Ken, I'm Canadian, and you're American, and some of the other folks that we're dealing with are from other parts of the world. It's amazing how managed print, it has no borders or boundaries, right? That the things that are affecting our industry are affecting them all over. And looks like we got a comment here for you, Ken. It says, Facebook user Ken, it just means you and I need to work a little harder. I bet we were 101 and 102.
That is absolutely correct.
Well, that's great. Whoever that was, definitely pay attention. We'll talk a little bit about how the list was actually formulated today, because it was obviously quite an effort. There's lots of different lists that people belong to, and they're all fantastic. And Tigerpaw really wanted to make sure that they took a different approach to it, so that it was a different kind of list that didn't compete with or challenge some of the other wonderful lists that our industry puts forward, right? All right, so let's go back here for 1 second. If you have not seen this list already, you must be sleeping. So I do have the link up there so you can actually get to the channel influencers list. I'm telling you, Ken, like Monday and Tuesday, I had hardly any time to do normal work because of interacting with both people that made the top 100 list and also people that were inquiring about the list, right? It was just off the charts. I know, looking at the LinkedIn stats yesterday, I think I had over 3,000 people that were engaged with it, and just incredible, right? So if you haven't seen the list yet, make sure you get over here. And I'm actually going to put the list up because we're going to talk about some of these folks today. And as I put this up, I'm just going to put it full screen for a minute so everyone can enjoy it. Oops, get a demo. Good job, Tigerpaw. Yeah, as I mentioned, I had nothing to do with this list, actually. And we had a little bit of a chat with one of our guests before we started this, because, of course, the question comes up, how was this, list generated, right? And it's not pay to play. It's not, by referral. And like I said, those other lists are awesome, but we just wanted to make sure we did something different. And so what Tigerpaw actually did was they got somebody to work on it who was not directly involved in the Managed Print Service Association, with guidance, obviously, from folks that have some of that experience. And there was a listed criteria, 12 or 15 factors, which were applied and considered across the board for candidates. And then they were actually stack ranked and rated. So, for everyone that's on the list, if you want to move up a little further, you'll have that opportunity for 2022. And for anyone that's not on the list, you'll have an opportunity to bump some of us off next year. I'm actually on the list as well. And that's one of the reasons I couldn't be directly involved with Tigerpaw and actually, developing the list, right? So if you haven't seen it, this is where it is. I got the link up here now, and lots of great names. So Andy Slawetsky in the house at number 1. That guy is an absolute machine in our industry, right? There is not an event that you don't see Andy at. There is not a conversation of importance that you don't usually see him involved in. Just a great guy. I've had the honor and privilege to be able to work with him, on different things over the years. And for all of my friends out there in the world, I'm going to let Ken talk a little bit because I actually have to cough. I'm finishing the tail end of a cold, so un momente.
Well, I would say about Andy, I'm not sure that he hasn't cloned himself 2 or 3 times, because he seems to be in so many different places. Of course, you're on the list, but there's so many. Tanya's on from Great America. Just looking down through the list, we see so many people that we recognize. Obviously Earl made the list, Mitchell made the list, Mitchell Philby from First Rock, CJ from the Kanata Group, our friend Patricia Ames, she's huge. We see Valerie from the BTA, and Valerie and I do a lot of work together. So it's nice to see people that I know and recognize. And, again, all of these are people that are busy trying to contribute to the industry. And again, that's one of the things that's interesting about our industry is the collaboration, and we don't see the sniping at each other we see in some industries. And in general, everybody's really positive and really constructive in their comments. And it's what we see when we look at online, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's YouTube, whether it is the Twitter. For the most part, it's always constructive comments, and I love that.
It is. One of the things that I can tell everybody to be on this list is that you definitely see these people speaking at events, and you definitely see them belonging to groups. We obviously can, because we're members. We push the Managed Print Service Association really hard. And another great group, the Business Technology Association, the number of people that belong to both of those organizations. So if you're looking to get on the list, I would say make sure that you're active, not just part of those organizations, but active in driving in a lot of their initiatives, right? I know with the MPSA, we have constantly new and exciting initiatives that each of the committees are working on, right? And it's the same at the BTA. So get involved with those things and make sure that you're doing some good, for the industry as a whole, right? And it looks like I do have another comment here. Yay! Oh, Deborah Dennis. That's right.
Well, it was Deborah.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Deborah. And for anyone else that's watching, make sure you do leave your comments and questions. If there's somebody that on the list that you want to give a shout out to, make sure that you do that. And I think, Ken, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in our first guest. He's actually been on the show quite a few times because he, like us, is a flat rate enthusiast and is making a big difference in the world with his flat rate offerings in the city of Chicago. So without further ado, let's bring him in. What's going on, Mr. Everson?
He doesn't even need an introduction.
You just make me smile when you say Chicago. I mean, what a beautiful
Chicago. Hey, great to have you on. I appreciate you coming in at short notice. Ken and I switched gears on this. We had a different topic planned, but given the list that came up, we really wanted to pay some attention and send our kudos out to people that that actually made the list, and thank you for all the work that you've done.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the first time that we've actually not had you on to talk about flat rate, but certainly talk about and congratulate you for being on this list. Right, you are everywhere, and you do so much good, both for your own company, but for the industry at large, right? And you're very innovative. So maybe talk a little bit about what you think of the award, and then what's upcoming for you in the year ahead.
Yeah, no, first of all, being selected onto that award, it was like awesome, but I was a little disappointed because Ken wasn't on there. But Ken, you're in the hearts of so many out here in the industry, fighting the fight every single day, man.
I was shocked and flabbergasted and just amazed that nobody got me on the list. crushed. I was totally crushed.
Hey, that's all right, man. You're a game changer for sure in the industry. So
well, and you and I've talked on my show. We've talked on this show. We've chatted privately. I love what you do, because you're probably of the dealers, you probably are more active on social media than most, and I think that you do such a good job of it. And you could say you're blazing a trail for others to follow.
Yeah.
In the fact that you effectively utilize the tools that the next generation are going to survive by. I love some of your comments about the fact that the traditional way we've done things in this industry is changing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk a lot about that, and hopefully you'll we'll see you in Nashville, because both West and I are presenting there. I've got a panel of people that are going to be talking about the changes in the industry. And this industry is definitely changing. So
for sure.
It was good to see you on that list. And well deserved.
Yeah, thank you. Right now the industry is going through so much change, and with social media, it's been such a huge stepping stool for the company to utilize it. But for the past week, I really haven't been on LinkedIn hardly at all, because I've been so busy with the business that we're generating directly off of LinkedIn. So for me so now I'm at a point, what do I do? Do I bring someone in-house to really help with videos and content on LinkedIn, because it's consuming so much of my time? However, it's how I'm generating business. So it's a catch-22 here. So anyway.
Well, I understand that. And it's interesting that sometimes it's hard to work on your business because you're so busy working in your business.
Yeah. For sure.
And I don't have an answer for you, because you are so much the face of your company and what you're offering. And you're so eloquent about the way you work with customers and the way you help customers, that I think it's that you not being the face might be a challenge. Now, maybe you could get somebody to do some scripting and editing and some of the back office stuff.
Correct. Right.
But
well, I got to jump into this one on LinkedIn, because I'm a huge, believer in the power of LinkedIn, right? And like you, Earl, I generate 100% of my business on LinkedIn, right? Like yeah. I don't really do a lot of other, marketing efforts. And truthfully, it's the helpful content. It's getting out there, being involved in those conversations. It really is incredible, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is difficult. I mean, the creation of the videos and stuff, because you produce a lot more content than I do. And you're growing. You're probably going to have to get somebody in there to do that, right? So, and I would look forward to seeing some of that, some of that effort from some new people, because that's one thing I've always seen you do. You raise your people up. That's mm-hmm. another, reason that you're on the list, is that sure. You pay so much attention to your team and your customers, right? So
100%. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, and I think we're going to see you actually. Ken did mention the BTA, and there's so many BTA members that are on the top 100 list, right? And a big shout out to, a couple of people that I worked with on a regular basis, Brent Hoskins and Valerie Bresno, right? They are powerhouses in the industry. They just do so much, and just fantastic people. So when you're checking out the list, we have links actually to everyone's LinkedIn profiles on the list. So make sure you check them out if you're not connected with them. They're really great people. BTA is a great organization, and certainly recommend that you check them out, right? Yeah, quite a few companies that are with the BTA as well, and of course with the Managed Print Service Association, right, Ken? That you mentioned that Tanya's on the list as well. Mark Hart from ACDI, and Eric Crump. Just some powerhouses in the industry that they do so much. I know that Eric, I see quite a bit. He does a lot of volunteer work as well with young people, that are looking to get into the military, and just a fantastic guy that spends a lot of time, not just in the business world, but also volunteering. And I would say that's something that people should probably look at if they want to get on the list as well, is what kind of things are you doing to give back to the community, right? As hard as it's been for us, I mean, the managed print space in the last year and a half has just been hammered, because the office changed, right? We had to flex, we had to adapt. But yet I never saw a slowdown in activity at the MPSA on our communities. Ken, people have been busy actively trying to, do what they can to help everyone else in the industry, regardless of what we've all had to go through. So yeah,
Absolutely.
If you're not part of an association, make sure that you are. So Earl, I can't thank you enough for all that you do for the industry. I'm going to let you bow out now. I know that you've got some calls. You were very gracious to get in here this morning, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. Just keep the awesome train chugging down the track, man. It's great.
For sure. Thanks so much, guys. Pleasure being on.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, I got a lot of love for Earl Everson, and he just does so much for his space, and certainly deserves to be on the list, right? And we've got somebody else here today.
Because I said he's so generous with his time. Pretty much anytime we've asked him to be on our show, or he's been on my show, he's always willing to help others out, and I love that about him.
That's right. And just a reminder for anyone that's watching, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, leave your comments and questions. If there's somebody you think that should be on the list that maybe wasn't, or somebody that is on the list that you want to give a big shout out to, make sure you get them out there. Our next guest on the show this morning, he's a funny guy. I love it. His thing was, they say if you're not first, then you're last. So he's got to really do some work to get on the number one spot. But he's number two, and he beat me out. So I'm up somewhere on the list a little further down. But our guest this morning is number two. So, it's going to be, they're going to be duking it out for that number one spot. So I'm going to bring him in now. And so what are you doing, Art? Maybe just center your camera a little bit there.
I just center my spot here.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasant surprise, something I wasn't expecting. And to be number two is great. To be number one is even better.
Well, you're gonna have your work cut out with you, and it's funny that both your names start with A. It's not an alphabetical list by any means. It is stack ranked. It is not alphabeticalized. So you and Andy are gonna have to duke it out to either maintain or push those positions for the 2022 list, right?
Right. Gonna have to learn a little bit more about how it's done and how to increase it, or just keep putting interesting content out there, right?
Yeah.
Original content drives it for you.
Well, like I said earlier, certainly Tigerpaw is not going to give away the secret sauce, right? But some things that I can talk about are, like I said, it's just keep doing what you do, right? It's that activity, it's belonging to those associations, it's making sure that you're active in those conversations, that you're at those events, that you're speaking. It's anything that you're doing to raise the standards of the managed print space. Just keep on doing those things, right?
Yeah, and there's quite a list of people in that 100. It's quite the list.
It is quite the list. And maybe give some more shout outs here. I'm going to throw the list back up here for 1 second. You guys can see that. And we do have a Facebook user saying, welcome, Art Post. So the Facebook comments, for those that are just coming into the stream, we can't see who you are. So if you want to post again with your name to give him a shout out so he knows who you are, that'd be great. On LinkedIn, we do see your name and stuff. Facebook, I don't know why we don't. But yeah, look at all these names, right? So we got Patricia Ames, and I'm really happy to see Amy and Patricia on this list, because they do a phenomenal list themselves, right? And they don't necessarily get the recognition that they deserve, because they're busy curating their own lists. So really good to see them on there. Luella Fernandez, not surprised at all. We've actually had her do some sessions for us. She does some great stuff at QCirca. Just love her work. So if you're not connected with her, make sure you check out her link on the Tigerpaw blog. Like I said, all of these people that are on the list, including Art, there's LinkedIn profiles there, so you can just click through. So I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to ruin it.
Right.
Yeah, Art. So one of the things that you've done, you wear a lot of hats. So you are actively selling in the industry, and you're also actively promoting news and activities and stuff through your newsletter. So maybe talk a little bit about that, how you balance, kind of those things and why you do them both.
Oh, why do I do them both? I do the love of the industry I'm in. I still enjoy my day-to-day activities of selling multifunctional copiers and printers. I found it after 41 years, I still enjoy doing it. And then I also enjoy writing about our industry and trying to foster change in our industry, where I see that that I think our industry can grow and learn a little bit more. I try to write about those types of things that I see on a, I guess, more or less, I write every day, but I try to write about some of these changes, maybe once every month, about things or ideas that I have that would make our industry a little bit better.
You're muted, West.
Looks like I muted myself. I'm pretty amateur today. Yeah, I love what you do. And if you don't know Art Post, I'm not sure if you're in the office equipment industry, but anyways, his link is there. Make sure you reach out to him on LinkedIn and congratulate him, and check out what he does with his newsletter as well. Right. So yeah, I can't thank you enough, Art. And just once again, congratulations for making the list at the number 2 spot. I still can't believe it. Right. So yeah, are we going to see you somewhere soon? What's your next event?
Well, I was thinking about making it down to Asheville for a BTA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, however, I had a medical setback about 4 weeks ago, but actually 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're getting better. I didn't want to bring it up. I thought maybe you could bring it up, but certainly we are all thrilled that you've made it through, and that you're getting better. And it was a real, shocker. So glad that you have really pushed through. Right, you are an icon in the industry. I would consider you a friend. A lot of people would.
Thanks.
And we're just really happy that you're come out the other side stronger.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm still missing a few words here and a few words here and there.
Yeah.
But I had a good talk with my VP of sales, and we spoke about sales. And one of the things we had in talk tracks that we had was about cold calling, right? How to cold call for accounts. And I had this talk with him. I told him my neurologist said that basically I've lost everything that I knew about cold calling, and there's no way I'm going to be able to do that in the future.
Wow.
And, well, that was just a farce I was telling my VP of sales.
That's great.
Yeah. I told him, I can't do it anymore. I've lost it. It's gone.
Oh man, you could make hay with that, for quite a few things, right? Didn't your doctor also tell you can't do yard work anymore? I mean, there's got
absolutely. So it did make some excellent banter, and finally I let the cat out of the bag in the last minute of the conversation.
You are an absolute riot, my friend. I'm glad that your sense of humor has definitely stayed intact through everything. And hopefully we'll see, there's a little bit of time left, right? We really hope to see you in Asheville. I know Ken and I will both be there at the BTA event in Asheville. So
right.
Fingers crossed, buddy. It would be, I can't wait to see you again in person.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you go, but congratulations again.
All right. Great.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
I'm going to stay on and finish listening to the chat.
All right. Thanks,
right.
brother.
Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring up the health thing. I'm glad he did, but it was, people in the industry for a long time, and Ken, like you and I are friends. I have so many friends in this space, right? That we don't work in an industry. I talk to a lot of people that are in other channels, and they simply don't have the level of friendship that we do in this industry, right? So, even the work that I do at Tigerpaw, I've been friends with James Foxall for more years than I can count now. In the early days when we were doing stuff together at Print Audit, now that I do stuff for them, sort of championing their cause, and more things to come. People stay tuned in the marketplace. Joel Vaslow, who I've reported to there for the number of years that I've been there, another great friend of mine. When I think of Greg Welchins is on the list, I consider him a friend. Barney Kister, for sure, out there. Patricia Ames, you know what I mean, Ken? Like, we are just blessed to have people that we don't just want to do business with, that we want to actually, be involved with on a personal level, right? So, yeah, we're truly blessed. That
I would say, it was interesting, Deborah, that chimed in earlier. She and I are friends. We go back 13, 14 years now. And, she's very active in the BTA. And so we work together for BTA events, but I used to support her dealership when I worked for the manufacturer.
Yeah, Deborah's great. And I've just recently started doing things with Deborah Dennis. And I can't believe how amazing she is and how I haven't done stuff with her in the past, right? So I do have an interview that I'll be working with her on soon. And she's also been very active in getting me involved with being able to speak at the Asheville event as well, right? So Deborah, thank you. Great to finally start working with you and get to know you, right? Yeah, so many good people on that list. Some of the other ones that we have here, I don't see him on here today, but one of my favorite people, Greg Walters. I did give a shout out, but he's busy this morning to be able to see if he could get on and chat. He is another past president for the Managed Print Service Association. Great guy and always innovating. And sorry, folks, just give me 1 second.
It's gotten him all choked up.
Yeah, Greg, you got me all choked up, man. Yeah. For anyone that might have tuned in a little recently, I'm recovering from a cold. It's not COVID. It's just your common garden variety cold, which nobody told me when I got vaccinated it wouldn't fix me from everything, right? Oh, look at this. Speak of the devil and he shall arise. Hey, Greg, I'm going to add you right now. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, super thrilled that you decided to jump in today, and congratulations on making the list.
Yeah, total surprise.
Yeah. Well,
congratulations.
It's not for me, Greg. I mean, you're one of those people that have, through the death of the copier and all the stuff that you've done through all the years, have always been pushing our industry forward, right? That you have driven conversations, started conversations, and made us all think much harder about what we're actually doing, and sometimes what we're not doing, right?
Right.
And I can't thank you enough for that voice and that push that you give in the industry. So just wanted to congratulate you. And I'm not sure if you heard earlier how the list was compiled, but it's not pay to play. It's not like somebody referred you or anything else. This list was built compiling 12 to 15 different factors about your influence and your activity in the in the office equipment channel, right? So I had nothing to do with it. That's the other thing I have to remind people. That I'm on the list myself as well, but I did not have anything to do with the generation of the list. So congratulations on making the list. And more importantly, thank you for everything that you continue to do for our channel, right?
Yep. Well, we'll keep pushing. I mean, now is a real dynamic time, as you guys know. I mean, the whole industry, the whole world is facing all sorts of new things. And, we've been in turmoil for a few years now, so it's really nothing new to us, but just a little bit more intense.
Yeah, I mean the acceleration of things, right? That's what I've kind of looked at, is that we've had a lot of things that we should have been probably paying attention to in the office equipment channel for years, but it's kind of like you got that pile of things in your desk which are burning fires, and then you have your the other pile which is things that you should get to, but they may not necessarily impact you today, right?
Right.
And certainly that acceleration, thanks to the pandemic, of changing the way that people work, the way that we interact with each other, right? Like, I can't count a day that I haven't been involved in some kind of video conference call or live stream or, something, right? You imagine that 5 years ago, if you would have told people that they would literally every day be doing some kind of video conference remotely.
Well, some of us did say that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And Death of the Copier, if you're not familiar with it, make sure you check out Greg. And again, I don't know what planet you've been on if you don't know Greg Walters, but on the list, we do have his LinkedIn profile there, so you can learn more about what he's doing for the industry today, et cetera, right? So what's coming up for 2021? Where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing?
Oh, well, I've got a sort of a new initiative with actually training salespeople in a different light, different area. That whole business acumen and sales acumen is, to me, really, really important right now as we shift our roles, as our prospects get more intelligent and gain more access to more knowledge every single day. It really puts a strain on the old transactional way of selling versus what we said we would do back in the 90s and the 80s, but never really did. So
yeah, and again, it's been accelerated by the times that we live in, right? And I'm certain it's not for our channel, but that ability to, and I guess when you think about it, what you're really talking about are just knowledge-based sales and more interactive sales with people, right? So not just
it's everything we've been saying. It's like the old MPS needs assessment. It's not, we don't do we did an assessment to help the sale along versus help the business along, under the guise of helping the business along. So anyway, I can go on for hours, but I'd like to thank you guys for being consistent, getting online and doing all this stuff that you're doing, whether it's pitching flat rate or moving with the MPSA. That's excellent. Keeping it alive.
Well, I love the fact, it's been a real blessing to be able to work with, Ken, since we started working together on this flat rate thing and through the MPSA. Ken's one of the finest people I've ever had the honor to be able to work directly with. And you know me, Greg, I'm not big on, partners, or I'm pretty self-contained. But working with Ken has been absolutely incredible, right? Like, I can't say enough. Very progressive.
Make me blush now. The check's in the mail.
Yeah.
Excellent, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Greg, can't thank you enough. Congratulations again for being on the list. Look forward to what you're doing. And if you are looking for some sales assistance, make sure you get in touch with Greg. One thing he will certainly know, I know from experience, is that he will train your people to do things the right way and the fun way. So,
fun.
Keep it up,
guys.
Greg.
Take it
Cheers,
easy,
buddy.
Congratulations again.
Oh, that was great. That was fun.
Yeah.
I love Greg, eh? It's like, as soon as I'm talking about it, he's watching and then he comes in. So really good to have him, come on the show this morning, right? Yeah. So many great people. Yeah. There's Greg. I see in the private chat now, Greg Walters in the house.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was gonna say it is so nice again, and I think about the people that participated in our flat rate world challenge. Those people came in and shared information and sponsored it. Again, it wasn't that they were just doing what they could to help dealers move forward. We had so many experts. We think about Wes McCarter coming in and the information he shared, and just all of the people that came on. So it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, there's quite a few people that were sponsors for our flat rate challenge, which are on the list, right? Again, this whole flat rate thing is fairly new to the world, at least for the managed print space, right? It's been happening in managed IT and other areas for longer than I can remember, and I've been pushing the gospel for more years than I can remember. But as far as it actually actively being in the marketplace, and Wes McCarter and his group at BI Services were some of those early folks that were actually developing tool sets and methodologies and practices to be able to help people deliver flat rate effectively and profitably, right? So again, Wes is on the list. Make sure you check him out. His LinkedIn profile is there, so definitely reach out to those guys if you're looking to add some fire to your flat rate program. And as Ken mentioned, all those sponsors that helped us to get that 10-day challenge available. During the challenge, it was free for people that registered for it. But since then, we charge for that now. We charge about $240, I think, for that. And Ken, I'll let you talk about this for a second because you hate the fact that I keep taking money out of our pockets. But how do people get access to that 10-day challenge for free?
Send us $239. That's the best way for you to do it. Okay. Because I travel. I like to be gone sometimes. And Wes keeps giving it away if you join the MPSA. Now, for you, it might be a much better deal to join the MPSA because for $250, you get the free $239 lifetime access to those recordings and the training that we provided over 10 days. And you also get all of the benefits and all the learning and all of the support that's available through the MPSA. So it works out well. you really get a much better deal. But for me, send me the money. Send me the money.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, we've got some great initiatives that we're working on right now. I know that 2 of them, they're not totally public knowledge yet, but something that's going to affect sort of what people come to expect as far as standards for what managed print actually is and means. And then some assistance for customers, for end users that are looking to make sure that they get a standards-based approach to their RFPs as well for managed print. And Greg mentioned it earlier. We made a lot of promises in the early days of managed print, and sadly, we haven't delivered on all of them. And that's 2 of those initiatives that we're working on right now. And Eric Crump, who was also on the top 100 list, he is leading those 2 initiatives, which everyone will learn more about, soon, right? But make sure you check it out. It's easy enough to go to. Oh, actually, can't see the URL up top, but it's yourmpsa.org. Get in there or reach out to Ken and I. We'd be happy to help you learn more about membership and how to get involved and how to get access to the 10-day challenge for free. Because who doesn't like free? Well,
that's right.
It's not free because one of the things you're actually going to make it back in returns belonging to the MPSA. I got to tell you that one of the things that I absolutely love about the MPSA is the fellowship with other thought leaders, right? Because everyone that belongs to the organization that we work with is doing it to raise the industry, right? To make it better, to get standards that help all the other dealers and all the customers that are out there, right? Organizations like the MPSA, the BTA, et cetera, are literally built for that, for helping us to raise the standards of the industry and to help each other, right? So join the MPSA.
Absolutely. And if you're not a BTA member, I'm going to give BTA a shout out as well, because they're another organization that is so focused on the industry. So I would highly recommend that you join the trade associations associated with our industry, because they're doing all they can to help all of us in the industry get better and to protect the future of our industry.
Nice. So some LinkedIn user put it out there, the Managed Print Service Association, MPSA. Yes, that is the full version. yourmpsa.org on the web and get out there. And Ken, as you mentioned, I know that Tigerpaw belongs to both the BTA and the MPSA, because they both have different missions. They both bring different values to the dealer community and to the office equipment channel, as a rule, right? So, certainly if you really, again, I'm just giving people tips for getting on that list. If you belong to both organizations, you're probably going to increase, your odds of getting there. Hey, look, we got another guest coming in the house. So exciting. So a fellow Canadian is just joining. I'm going to bring him in here in 1 second. I've had the privilege of, working with this guy, visiting his facility in Canada. He's a London, Ontario boy, right to the core, Canadian, but he's an international powerhouse. So let's welcome Rick Lambert to the house. How are you, Rick?
Hey, boys. How's it going?
It's good, man.
Fine. Hi, Rick. How are you doing?
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be tough for me being online with you 2 guys here. Big step down in terms of looks and probably intelligence. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. Not at all.
You shouldn't talk about me that way.
Yeah.
Hey, and congratulations, buddy, for making the list. I'm not sure if you heard earlier when we were talking about it. There's a lot of questions about how people get on the list, right? And what makes this list different is that it's actually based on criteria of about 14 or 15 different factors, which are all brought together. Somebody was used in the process, which actually is not from the Managed Print Service Association, to get an overview of those people that are making a difference from an unbiased view, right? And yeah, so you earned it. Congratulations for being on the list and for everything that you're doing, in the industry, right? And you've done so much for dealers over the years for helping them so much. So maybe talk a little bit about how you feel about the award, and then more importantly, what's going to be up and coming for you for the rest of the year and in 2022.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, first, congrats on what you guys are doing. I think the creativity, you guys push people to rethink, traditional methods, and managed print for some is been around for a little while, but I think there's still a lot of throttle left as people go back to work from home, whatever it is. just candidly, I didn't even know that thing was happening. And so somebody on my team said, "Hey, Rick, we picked up your name on one of our sniffer software things." I'm like, okay, I hope it's good. But I really, we have an awesome team. And Wes, you've been to our office, the people that support me. And sometimes, our average tenure is over 9 years. I mean, they talk like they sell managed print. I mean, you can get them with every acronym. They know what it is. And really the customers that have given us a chance to, inject some of our sell to win thinking, because really, and you guys, I think are both really good at this. It's about transparency, I think, and being honest and being creative and having, conversations about how people can grow their business, whether they're a managed print provider or they're a company you're trying to sell managed print to. But, I just thought it was great. And, you look at a lot of names on there and you're like, hey, I got to talk to that person because I haven't, in this COVID slumber thing, I know myself personally, like, gosh, that person's, I haven't talked to them in a while. So I just want to say thank you very much. I don't know the algorithm, but obviously worked in my favor.
Well, I can't thank you enough. Like I said, you've always done so much for the industry, right? And you say something really important there too about, the other people on the list is that's one thing that's really important for all of us in the space. We've talked about it through the organizations like the MPSA and the BTA, but even outside of that, the work that we all do together creatively and brainstorming and coming up with ideas and, doing things, taking chances and, trying to make our industry better, right? That interaction within our channel, not just on that top 100 list is so important, right? And I've had some of the most creative conversations in my life talking with you about things, right? And moving things. So thanks for all that you do, Rick, and congratulations for being on the list, buddy.
Well, thanks for dragging me along, buddy. I know I first saw you, when you were early days, I'll call it, in Chicago, you were talking about flat rate back then. And, you've gained so much momentum and really, it's a packaging model and a creative model that's user, friendly. And I just think, the business leaders we're working with today, they're looking for ideas and ideas that work. And you've got certainly on your track record, you've started in managed print, you get the software, you've done, I think you're the best guy I know that would do an assessment. I mean that genuinely. And we've talked about that offline, and Ken, you bring that whole back end perspective on the service side. And I think so much what we do is focused on sales. And, in my old role, when I was at a dealership, we were about a $30 million operation. I had, P&L responsibility for service. And a lot of people just think sales, but they don't think what Ken brings. That's why I think, the front end and back end, what you're doing is what you guys talk about is so relevant.
That's why we joined forces together, right? Is that, it really does help fill that, equation for dealers to take all those things into consideration, right? And, certainly the one thing you mentioned that like all those years ago when I was talking about, flat rate in Chicago, and there's one key factor that's different today that didn't exist then. So I knew I was right about the model because I saw managed IT providers were, doing it for their customers. I knew that customers would love it, but there was no dealer need, right? People were still making money hand over fist doing what they were doing. And certainly one of the things that's helped push this along, sadly, is this new world that we live in, right? When pages took a big dive. And that people were starting to look at models that are a little more pandemic proof, if you will, or at least free of the ravages of what happens if people print differently, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that people, Rick, you mentioned it, managed print's got a lot of life left in it, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it does mean that we've got to do it differently. You mentioned the work that I do in assessments, what Ken does in the service side and what you do in sales, right? That we've all got to approach this, I think, in a smarter, way to do it so that we can, and to give you a plug, sell to win, right?
Yeah. Well, and I want to give Rick a shout out as well, because his LinkedIn program, and I considered myself reasonably adept on social media. At that time, I was active on YouTube. I'd been on LinkedIn for a long time, active on Twitter. But he really changed my perspective and helped me up my game on LinkedIn. And so for those of you that have not been through his LinkedIn training program, if you're in the dealer community, you really should do that. Because I look, and one of the things I do is I look, and when I teach service management, I look at the profiles of the service managers that are in my class. and I would say 90% of them, their LinkedIn profile is subpar.
Right.
You know, and I talk to the ones that come to my class about it, but you need to think, and as a dealership, I would encourage that program, because again, LinkedIn is becoming a key component of your marketing and should be a key component of your marketing message. So I'd highly recommend Rick's program.
Yeah, it's been exciting to see you develop that, Rick.
Hey, guys, this is a pretty good group hug going on here. You know, I appreciate it. Thank you, Ken, because I know you're, you know, there's guys and ladies that do such a good job on LinkedIn. I don't know when the pandemic hit why someone wouldn't at least consider it, but you know, but that thing's evolved thanks to our customers. And you guys know, the more you work with customers, Wes, you know, flat rate concepts evolved, and Ken, the back end billing, all that stuff has to evolve. And I'll tell you, like we just booked an event for I'll say like Xerox. It's called the Champions event, and it's coming up in Webster, New York. And they're bringing in their top. I think it's like we got 32 dealers or partners right now coming in, and I'm going to be down there talking to them about how to shoot selfie videos, like selfie sales videos. And as basic as it is, and you guys are on camera all the time. Look at us now. How many people, guys? And I use the analogy of a pool party, right? We've all been to the pool party where we brought our bathing suit, but we leave it in the car because we're not sure if we want to swim or not. You know what I mean? Then after a few Canadian lubricators, Wes, all of a sudden, you know, one knucklehead jumps in, and then before you know it, we're in there too shooting videos, and it feels pretty good. And so sometimes, you know, in a polite way, we just gotta, you know, give people the encouragement they need to progress. And so it's funny, you know, LinkedIn is. If I think what's happened, I was talking to somebody this morning, and I think traditionally branding, when we grew up, was all around marketing the company, right? And the product. And now I think it's come down, rightfully so, to marketing the individual. Yeah. And the sooner salespeople, business leaders, service leaders, whatever, see themselves as a brand within the brand, I think they're going to do better for themselves and somebody else. And, you know, I appreciate your comments, Ken, because you know, you can get bad coaching, right? And we, you know, you guys are obviously athletes by looking at you here on the program. And, but we've all had great coaches and bad coaches. And if you just get some good coaching out of the blocks, I mean, your service departments, you know, run smoother, more profitable. Absolutely. You know, if you do an assessment right, but you're shown by a guy like you don't miss the 7 out of 10 things that actually could reshape, differentiate, help you. So it's really our customers, and you guys know that best. They teach us more than we ever probably give them credit for as to where the pockets of opportunity are.
Well, and I would say that's another reason you're on the list, buddy, is that this really is about teaching and coaching and mentorship, and that, you know, that people in our industry were blessed by so many people that actually have those skill sets and share them, right? So I put the link back up there for the Tigerpaw blog. You can go there. You can find Rick's name there and click through and get him on LinkedIn, and definitely check out how he can help you to get better at that, because I'm telling you, I would argue that you can't sell anymore unless you have a strong influence on LinkedIn, that you understand how to use it as a tool set, right? So
hey, it's not the only only thing, but it is.
You got to add it to your kit.
Hey, and you know, I appreciate you guys promoting it, but I actually we think we should go counterflow and start putting it down, because we want to have our sell-to-win customers have the biggest advantage of all, right? So
yes, that's true. We should
do not take it. Yeah, that's what I tell people. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I got to jump. I just want to jump in and say congrats on what you're doing, and thank you so much for the kind words. And again, it's all back to our team. And our customers, like you guys, give you guys and us the chance to do what we do. So anyway, thanks very much, guys, for having me in.
Yeah, congratulations, brother.
We really appreciate it. And congratulations.
Okay, see you, boys.
Well, that was great to see him pop in. I love live streams for that, for people being able to come in and out whenever they want, right? And Ken, I guess we should probably wrap this up now, but it's just so exciting. I mean, 100 people recognized on, you know, the first ever for 2021. And certainly look forward to working with everyone that's on the list, and encourage everyone to reach out to people on that list. I do have the link there again for the blog. Yeah. And Ken, we didn't really talk much about flat rate today. We talked a lot about innovation and new, right? And what people are doing. And I'm thrilled that we spent the day doing that. So for everyone that did come on today, I can see Art still hiding in the background there. So Art, thanks very much for all you do. I'm glad you're getting healthy again. And I look forward to seeing you guys and at an event soon. So until next time.
Okay. We'll see everybody next week.